Hey, big guy. Hey, little guy. Can you tell me who came first? Well, I can tell you that Planescape Torment has come before a number of the games I've played, including Disco Elysium, which a lot of people say that Planescape was kind of inspiration on Disco Elysium. I've heard of the game over the years, but I've never played it. I've never played it, or even seen it, really. But we're going to be trying it out for an hour. This is the Enhanced Edition. The original game came out in 1999, and then this version came out in 2017. We're just going to try, without it really knowing anything about it, we're going to just go right in for an hour, see what it's like. Let's head into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, there are many worlds of Dungeons and Dragons. This is but one. Here's a character creator. Character generation screen. Let's see, we have character points, armor class, hit points. We got to distribute our points. We can put into Dex, into Int, Stir, Wiz, Con, and Cha. So Charisma represents persuasiveness, personal magnetism, and the ability to lead. The higher my Charisma, the more favorably others will react towards me. Well, my understanding, there's a lot of talking. My Charisma is of heroic proportions. I'm a hero talker. Dex, it's agility, reflexes, hand-eye coordination. High Dex makes me harder to hit and aids my thief skills, so I'm average in that. Int, my memory, reasoning, and deductive skills. I can't take any more points away from that. My lowest intelligence, I can be average. Stir. Let's see, my raw strength can carry more weight, makes melee attacks more accurate and damaging. So there is combat in this. It's not just talking. I don't really know how the combat works, but we will find out. Maybe. Do we have any combat in the first hour? I guess we'll find out. Wisdom, intuition, common sense, and willpower. Recall memories, bonus to experience points. My constitution replenishes my physique, how hard I am, how healthy I am, more hit points, faster regeneration. Let's maybe above average strength, maybe above average constitution, and maybe let's be a fast boy with some above average dex. All right, let's accept it. Here we are.
Hey, Chief. You okay? You playing corpse or you putting the blinds on the dusties? I thought you were a deader for sure.
What does that mean? What's the blinds on the dusties? I mean, I guess deader means they thought I was dead, but who are the dusties? And who are you? Okay, so I was told that there's not that much voicing in this. I guess I will be reading. Who am I? How about you start? Who are you? Hey, I asked you first, Skull. Yeah, and I asked you second. What's your name? You first, Skull. It's the last time I'll ask. You're tighter than a wet rope. It's not how I thought that sentence was going to end. All right. I'll be the nice guy here. Name's Mort. Who are you? I don't know. I can't remember. You can't remember your name? Well, next time you spend a night in this burg, go easy on the bub. Name's Mort. I'm saying this again, because if you can't remember your name, maybe you might need me to say mine twice. I'm trapped in here too. Trapped? Yeah. Since you haven't had time to get your legs yet, here's the chant. I've tried all the doors, and this room is locked tighter than a chastity belt. Have many people actually had the opportunity to try to unlock a chastity belt? Because I feel like that's an experience not many people actually have. We're locked in where? What is this place? It's called the mortuary. It's a big black structure with all the architectural charm of a pregnant spider. The mortuary? What? Am I dead? Not from where I'm standing. You got scars aplenty, though. Looks like some Burke painted you with a knife. All the more reason to give this place the laugh before whoever carved you up comes back to finish the job. Scars? How badass are they? Well, the carvings on your chest aren't too bad, but the ones on your back... Mort pauses. Say, you look like you got a whole tattoo gallery on your back, Chief. Spells out something. Tattoos on my back? What do they say? Looks like you come with directions. Let's see. It starts with... I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs of Styx wash, but you need to center yourself. Among your possessions is a journal that'll shed some light on the dark of the matter. Farid can fill you in on the rest of the chant, if he's not in the dead book already. What? It says all of that on my back? Are you making this up? Did someone just write the tutorial on my back? Does it say anything else? Yeah, there's a bit more. Mort pauses. Let's see. It goes on. Don't lose the journal or we'll be up the sticks again. And whatever you do, do not tell anyone who you are or what happens to you, or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage to the crematorium. Do what I tell you. Read the journal and find Farid. No wonder my back hurts. There's a damn novel written there. It's for that journal I'm supposed to have with me. Was there one with me while I was lying here? No. You were stripped to the skins when you arrived here. Besides, looks like you got enough of a journal penned on your body. What about Farid? Do you know him? Nobody I know. But then again, I don't know many people. Still, some Burke's gotta know where to find Farid. Once we get out of here, that is. How do we get out of here? Well, all the doors are locked, so we'll need the key. Chances are one of the walking corpses in this room has it. Walking corpses? Yeah, the mortuary keepers use dead bodies as cheap labor. The corpses are as dumb as stones, but they're harmless and won't attack you unless you attack first. So I should attack one of these corpses and loot it for the key. And well, before you do that, arm yourself first. I think there's a scalpel on one of the shelves around here. Okay, so search the shelves for a weapon. When I find one, go to the inventory screen, backpack on the lower right. Arm myself. I can right-click to examine items. All right, I'll look for one. Oh. One last thing. Those corpses are slow as molasses, but getting punched by one of them is like getting kissed by a battering ram. If they start getting an edge on you, remember you can run, and they can't. Use it to keep some distance if you need to recover. So to run, we can toggle run on in options screen or hold down shift and left click. All right, shift and left click is run. All right, thanks for the advice. Oh, that screen's really pulled out, isn't it? Okay, we can zoom it in. Let's see.
All right.
Look at this. Looks like someone is in the middle of dissecting this corpse. That text is very small. Can I do something about that? Oh yeah, I already maxed out the font size. I thought I did that before. There's no, like, big text, is there? There's double-sized cursors. Sure, we might as well turn that on. My cursor is double-sized. The slab is covered with dried blood and other remains. Let's try running. There we go. Okay, we got a thing. Bandages, bandages. Door's locked. I will need a key. Okay, yeah, there are dudes here. System of rails is running through the whole room. It looks like the slabs in the room can be moved around on these rails. I can, like, draw a square like that. I wonder what the reason is for that. Just select everything? I mean, it seems like I can only select one thing at a time. A bloody cloth covers the remains of the corpse. The stench rising from the body is almost unbearable.
Done.
Corpse looks like someone turned it inside out. A machine at the head of the table has peeled the skin off the forehead to give direct access to the skull. They're gonna give him the child finger S treatment. Oh, I don't think I looked at this one here. All right, there's the scalpel. All right, we can take that. We can put it back. All right, 1 to 3 piercing, speed 1, weight 0, edged. Priests cannot use a scalpel. Let's see, drop it on the player character's portrait or in his weapon slot. Nope. Oh, okay, my cursor vanished. I wasn't sure what was happening there. Okay, we found... All right, you found the scalpel. Now go get those corpses. And don't worry, I'll stay back and provide valuable tactical advice. Maybe you could help me, Mort. I will be helping you. Good advice is hard to come by. I meant help in attacking the corpse. Me? I'm a romantic, not a soldier. I just get in the way. When I attack this corpse, you'd better be right there with me, or you'll be the next thing that I plunge this scalpel in. Alright. I'll help you. So if we want him to attack, make sure both of us are selected when we attack. Okay. I'm glad we understand each other. Time to introduce these corpses to the second death, then. Let's see, pressing A toggles the attack cursor. Let's go. Let's see. F1, fist. F5 is guard. Formations. Abort the action. Select all the characters. That's the time. Game is paused. Party member slots. The dialogue window. Let's bring that up again if we want. Lock view on the character. Toggle the AI. Not sure what... I mean, the AI maybe would be used when controlling Mort when fighting. There's the stats screen. The journal. The priest's scroll. Well, we can't do anything with that at the time being.
I'm gone.
Okay. Time has resumed. 0 pounds to 90 pounds. Okay, that's the inventory screen. And drop it there. I mean, I guess there's no reason for the fist if we don't have... if we have the scalpel, I guess we don't need the fist to be available. Okay. So, now we can pause. So it looks like we're both selected. I can select a... Yeah, select the attack cursor. I guess we have to get close to it. Get real close to it. real close to him. Oops, not that. Oh, I mean, okay, we'll just talk to him anyway. I'm looking for a key. Do you happen to have one? Chief, they can't hear you all right. They're dead. But you're dead, and you're talking to me. Yeah, but I'm special. Death couldn't kill my zest for life. These corpses here. Mort rolls his eyes. They probably didn't have much personality to begin with. I see. Look, Chief, watching you trying to swap the chant with these corpses isn't doing much for my morale. Let's leave the corpse talk for the barmies, all right? All right, then. We'll leave it for the barmies, I guess. Let's go. No talking to the...
Done.
To them. No reason to talk. We can examine the corpse and see if it's carrying a key. The corpse does not appear to be carrying a key. Doesn't look like it would be able to use one if it did. The fingers are broken as if someone smashed them with a hammer. You do happen to notice that the left shoulder is heavily bandaged. The bandages must be... Ew. Take the bandages off the corpse and use them on ourselves. I'd rather not. There we go. I guess I have to click on the base of the guy. Bandages. We got him. More bandages.
Damn.
There's the key. Mort, we got a key.
Failed.
Bash failed. But that's fine. I mean, I didn't need to bash the door anyway. Because I had the key. No. Psst. Some advice, Chief. I'd keep it quiet from here on. No need to put any more corpses in the dead book than necessary. Especially the femmes. Plus, killing them might draw the caretakers here. I don't think you mentioned it before. Who are these caretakers? They call themselves the Dustmen. You can't miss them. They have an obsession with black and rigor mortis of the face. They're an addled bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe everybody should die, sooner rather than later. I'm confused. Why do these Dustmen care if I escape? Weren't you listening? I said the Dusties believe everybody's gotta die, sooner better than later. You think the corpses you've seen are happier in the dead book than out of it? The corpses I've seen, where did they all come from? Death visits the plains every day, Chief. These shamblers are all that's left of the poor sods who sold their bodies to the caretakers after death. And who are these caretakers? They call themselves the Dustmen. Oh, we can have like a little circular conversation then. You said something about making sure I didn't kill any female corpses. Why is that? Why, are you serious? Look, Chief, these dead chits are the last chance for a couple of hardy bashers like us. We need to be chivalrous. No hacking them up for keys, no lopping their limbs off, things like that. Last chance? What are you talking about? Chief, they're dead. We're dead. See where I'm going, eh? Eh? No, I don't, actually. Chief, we already got an opening line with these limping ladies. We've all died at least once. We'll have something to talk about. We'll appreciate men with our kind of death experience. Wait, didn't you say before that I'm not dead? Well, all right. You might not be dead, but I am. And from where I'm standing, I wouldn't mind sharing a coffin with some of these fine, sinewy cadavers I see here. Mort starts clacking his teeth, as if in anticipation. Of course, the caretakers would have to part with them first, and that's not likely. Who are these caretakers again? I keep forgetting. They call themselves the Dustmen. But why do the Dustmen care if I escape? Okay, back to female corpses. I'll try to remember. Look, Chief, it's obvious that you're still a little bit addled after your kiss with death, but I got 2 bits of advice for you. 1, if you got questions, ask me, all right? So I can select the talk option from the quick menu, then left-click on the party member I wish to speak to. All right, if I have any questions, I'll ask you. 2nd, if you're half as forgetful as you seem to be, start writing stuff down. Whenever you come across something that might be important, jot it down so you don't forget. I do that anyway. I'm ahead of that. If I had that journal I was supposed to have with me, I'd do that. Start a new one then, Chief. No loss. There's plenty of parchment and ink around here to last you. All right. It couldn't hurt. I'll make a new one then. Use it to keep track of your movements. If you ever start to get cloudy on important things like who you are, more importantly, who I am, use it to refresh your memory. Alright, I got it. Let's go.
My journal.
I updated my journal. So let's see. There's let's see. Yeah, we can just go back to the dialogue window if we want to review that.
What's up? Yeah. Sure, why not?
So we can move him around if we so choose.
Done.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
All right, so then we can review things with him. What I actually want to ask him is what does he intend to do with the female corpses? He doesn't have a body. I guess we can't ask him that. Bloodstains, rust, and other remains cover the surface of this metal slab. It's much larger than most of the other slabs and sitting on a platform that allows it to be rotated. Alright, that one wasn't locked, fortunately. A logbook. Well, maybe that's just what I need if I'm going to start writing a journal. It's an enormous book right there. This book is huge. It must contain thousands of names. I guess this is the dead book Mort was referring to. Someone reading it? Hello? Oh, that's Dahl. The scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. Greetings! The scribe stops scratching in the book before him, then looks up. His eyes are like 2 nails driven into... I don't know what that description is supposed to entail. They said his eyes were gray. I guess they're deep in his eye sockets. I can't really Like my imagining of what it would look like to have 2 nails driven into your skull instead of eyes. It doesn't look anything like eyes. Like tiny, really deep eyes. Something like that. I guess. So... He sounds tired, as if he has repeated the same thing many times before. You have awoken from your sleep and returned to your dream. He continues more respectfully. Well met again, restless one. Restless one? Do you know me? No, you. There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one. No more than you have known yourself. He is silent for a moment. For you have forgotten, have you not? Who are you? As always, the question, and the wrong question as always. He bows slightly, but the movement suddenly sends him into a bout of coughing. I am dull. Perhaps you can answer some questions for me, doll.
Updated my journal.
What is this place? You are in the mortuary, restless one. Again you have come. Before he can finish, Doll breaks into a fit of coughing. After a moment, he calms himself and his breathing continues its ragged wheeze. This is the waiting room for those who will depart the shadow of this life. Tell me about the mortuary. It is where the dead are brought to be interred, all cremated. It is our responsibility as dustmen to care for the dead, those who have left this shadow of life and walked the path to true death. Doll's voice drops in concern. Your wounds must have extracted a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It is almost your home. Shadow of life? Yes, a shadow. You see, restless one, this life, it is not real. My life, your life, they are shadows, flickerings of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die. And here we remain, trapped, caged, until we can retrieve the true death. True death? True death is non-existence, a state devoid of reason, of sensation, of passion. Doll coughs, then gives a ragged breath. A state of purity. Sounds like Oblivion. Why would anyone want the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion? It is worse than remaining in the shadow of what life once was. I think not. Well, tell me more about the mortuary. Well, okay, so we've seen that. Can we ask about the true death? Right. What other questions, maybe? All right, so how do we get here? Oh, and it was referring to people die and come here all the time. Not that familiar with the setting, but I believe Planescape in D&D, there's dead people from other realms come here to this city, is my understanding. So people who die from other settings arrive here, I guess. Doll snorts. I really don't want to do a snort. That's going to probably make me start coughing for real. As if he finds the memory repugnant. Your moldy chariot ferried you to the mortuary, restless one. You would think you were royalty based on the number of loyal subjects that lay stinking and festering upon the cart that carried you. I arrived here on a cart.
Updated my journal.
Yes! Your body was somewhere in the middle of the heap, sharing its fluids with the rest of the mountain of corpses. Your seneschal Farald was, as always, pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to dump the lot of you at the mortuary gate. Who is this Farad? He is a collector of the dead. Dahl draws a ragged breath. We have such people in our city that scavenge the bodies of those who have walked the path of true death and bring them to us so that they may be... Oh, okay, no. We do have to find Farad. If events persist as they have, Restless One, you have a much greater chance of Farad finding you and bringing you to us again before you find whatever ooze puddle he wallows in this time. Nevertheless, I must find him. A slight warning creeps into Dahl's tone. Do not seek out Farad, Restless One. I am certain that it will simply come full circle again, with you none the wiser and Farad a few coppers richer. Accept death, Restless One. Do not perpetuate your circle of misery. Well, no, I have to find him. It's my main quest. Where is he?
Updated my journal.
Dahl is silent for a moment. When he finally speaks, he seems to do so reluctantly. I do not know under which gutter stone Farad lairs at the moment, but I imagine that he can be found somewhere beyond the mortuary gates. In the hive! Perhaps someone there will know where you can find him. Thanks. I do have some other questions. Can I ask about the ladies? Apparently it's not an option. Can you tell me how to get out of here? The front gate is the most obvious exit, but they will not let anyone other than dustmen pass. Dahl breaks into a ragged cough. Ahem. One of the guides by the front gate has a key to it, but it is unlikely he will open it for you, unless you are extremely persuasive, if you know what I mean, Restless One. Show a bit of leg. I mean, you're showing plenty already. I see. I had some other questions. Do you know who I am?
Updated my journal.
I know scant little of you, Restless One. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you and who now lie in our keeping. Dahl sighs. I ask that you no longer ask others to join with you, Restless One. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own. There are others who have journeyed with me. They are here.
Updated my journal.
Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I thought that she had traveled with you in the past. Dahl looks like he is about to start coughing again, then catches his breath. Am I mistaken? Where's her body? I mean, nothing weird. I want to see her. The Northwest Memorial Hall on the floor below us. Check the biers there. Her name should be on one of the memorial plaques. Mayhap that will revive your memory. I don't know. I don't recall ever traveling with a woman. Dahl makes no response to this. He simply stares at you in silence. I have some other questions for you. What do you do here, would you say? I am a scribe, a cataloger of all the shells that come into the mortuary. Dahl coughs again. As long as the stream of corpses flows through the mortuary, I shall remain at my post. I might have other questions. You sound ill. Are you not well? I am close to the true death, Restless One. It will not be long before I pass beyond the eternal boundary and find the peace I have been seeking. I tire of this mortal sphere. Doll gives a ragged sigh. A ragged sigh, you say. I think that was pretty ragged. The plains hold no more wonders for one such as I. The eternal boundary. Yeah, we already talked about the shadow of life and the true death. I guess goodbye, Doll. As you turn to speak, Doll speak. As you turn to leave, Doll speaks. Know this. I do not envy you, restless one. To be reborn as you would be a curse that I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point, your path will return you here. Doll coughs, the sound rattling. Oh, how do I do a rattling cough? I don't even know how to do that. Do I need to, like, I don't know, drink some milk to get some, like, thickness going on in my throat and try to, like, you know, gargle it a little? I don't have anything. I don't have that here. Ahem. Cough. It is the way of all things flesh and bone. Then perhaps we'll meet again, Doll. And if we do, I guess I won't remember it. So apparently, it seems like the story so far is that immortality is not all that it's cracked up to be. Seems like a pretty common idea. The concept of, hey, immortality, you may think you wanted it, but no, you didn't. So we want to go to the first floor of the mortuary so we can find this lady. The restless one doesn't remember streaming with a lady. He never does that. I don't think there's anything here. Okay, open that up. What was the first story you can think of that had the lesson of, man, you thought you wanted to be immortal, but you actually didn't? Because that's come up, you know, in a bunch of stories. I think I remember my first one. When I was a little kid, I used to watch Doctor Who on PBS. They showed it quite a bit. I mean, I was so young that I didn't really pay attention to most of the stories. Just vaguely. This is like really so young that I only vaguely remember bits and pieces. And there was that one story with, I think it was the 5 Doctors, in which the villain is trying to gain immortality, and the way it ends is he gets his wish, but it turns out that becoming immortal means becoming like a living stone statue who can't move. And like that was the whole thing. The doctors were not able to stop him from gaining his goal, but it turned out that the goal was bad. You see a slight young woman, only slightly woman, with pale features. The sunken flesh around her cheeks and neck make her appear as if she is starving. She seems intent on dissecting the corpse in front of her, prodding the chest with a finger. I don't know. I wouldn't say she seems intent on dissecting the corpse if she's only prodding it with a finger. That seems like it's very half-hearted dissection. Greetings, slight woman. The woman does not respond. She seems too intent on the body in front of her. As you watch her work, you suddenly notice her hands. Her fingers are talons. They are darting in and out of the corpse's chest cavity like knives, removing organs. I mean, knives aren't necessarily, like, fast or anything, or they can't knives can't grab things. Like, they're darting in and out of the corpse's chest cavity like something really fast that can grab things. I can't really think of a metaphor. Oh, maybe like a frog's tongue. Like a frog's tongue is really fast. You can barely see it, and it grabs insects. So maybe her arms are like frog tongues. And she's like standing over the cavity going... And like you see a blur of arms going in and out. What's wrong with your hands, slight woman? The woman makes no response. I will tap this to get her attention. The woman jumps and whips around to face you. Her eyes are rotting yellow. I mean, not even a good yellow. It's rotting yellow. I mean, I don't really know. I guess that means she's got the jaundice because her eyes are yellow. Because, I mean, her skin would also be, though. It's making it very clear that this is not a good-looking yellow, I guess. With small... Oh, her pupils are orange. So her eyes are mostly rotting yellow, and her pupils are small orange dots. I don't know what she has. As she sees you, her expression changes from surprise to irritation, and she frowns at you. Greetings. She doesn't seem to have heard you. You tap her on the shoulder and make a gesture for her to take her headphones off. I said greetings! She leans forward, squinting, as if she can't quite make you out. Whatever is wrong with her eyes must make her terribly nearsighted. You... She clacks her taloned fingers together, then makes a strange motion with her hands. Fine thread and embalming juice. Bring here to Ivan. Go, go, go. I got a quest. They're in my diary. I wrote down, I met a new friend today, a lady who asked me to find the thread and the embalming juice after I scared her. So we gotta, let's see. Go to journal, go to diary, quest portion of journal, and I can select quest from the journal menu to see my quests. What's wrong with your hands?
Updated my journal.
She turns away. She makes no sign that she heard you. Her hearing must be as poor as her eyesight. Well, I guess she's not going to talk to me. Where's my quests? Right. A strange woman with talented hands and tallow-covered... Now, we heard that her eyes were rotten yellow. I don't know if it mentioned the flesh. Only that her flesh was tight, as if she was starving. On the second floor, mortuary embalming room, mistook me for a zombie. Oh, is that what she thought? I see. Gotta find embalming fluid and needle and thread. I mean, I guess we do look not great. I could understand why she might think that, you know, we're a zombie guy.
I'm gone.
I mean, maybe it's not going to be in this room. But then again, if it's like the first little quest, you know, maybe it would be in this room. Well, maybe when we find the items, maybe we'll find out what's wrong with her arms. I'm invested in that mystery. What is the deal with her arms? There's the door. I don't think there are any desks or anything. Well, there's embalming fluid. Yoink. That door's locked. I will need a key. Looks like stairs. But, let's check this out before we go upstairs. Go upstairs and find the lady who apparently was traveling with us. Oh, that's locked. I will need a key. That's not the direction. That went back the other way. Okay.
All right.
What a beautiful red glowing light. It's a dustman. He regards us with a stony gaze. Are you lost? No, but I do have questions. If you're not lost, what's your business here? I'm here to see someone. Who are you here to see? Doll? Doll is most likely in the receiving room on the second floor. He's quite busy and not in the best of health. Unless you have pressing business, I would not disturb him. Very well. That doll guy, say the slightest words to him, and he just coughs all over you. Just another unnamed dustman. No, I'm not lost. It's none of your concern. Snap her neck. Can't have you alerting your friends. There we go. Better you than me, Dusty. Hey, I gained experience for doing that. To my surprise, the act seemed instinctual, as if you had done it many times before. With this thought comes the stirring of a memory. It's not strong enough to surface. Oh. Maybe if we do it to, like, more people, that the memory will become stronger? It's worth a shot. Yeah, I gained more experience. It didn't mention anything about a memory, though. Apparently, we are very good at killing, but we don't remember why. Some junk. You know, it's some junk. Don't worry about the junk. I mean, to be honest, I do think more games do need to have, like, a snap neck option whenever you speak to a character. Like, it doesn't matter who the character is, it's always there. You don't have to use it, it's just always there. Bandages. Container is locked. Here's a clot charm. I want to wear this charm that looks like a blood clot. It's very flattering for me. Task list. Embalming charm, lesser. Can I... No, not like that. There we go. I would like the contracted workers to be inspected thrice daily at the end of each work shift when the new initiates come on duty. We have experienced too many contracted collapses while engaged in heavy labor as of late, and I fear the embalming enchantments ideally used on the corpses may be decaying or have been warped somehow. If the contracted workers could be inspected every 8 hours and raised if they had collapsed, then this would prevent the backlog of shells in the preparation rooms and free up more contracted workers for other duties. I do not wish collapsed bodies to be disposed of. When possible, the original contracted shells are to be raised and made to resume their duties. I have included spare embalming charms within the shells for the initiates on duty. They are to be used only when the shells cannot be repaired with stitching, bandaging, or applications of embalming fluid. The air roaring from the mouth of this immense furnace is incredibly hot. I guess we shouldn't walk into the immense furnace. Probably a bad idea. Like sometimes you see an immense furnace and you're like, oh, curious. What happens if I walk into it? And it's like, no, probably shouldn't do that. Oh, that's a lady, I guess. Lady zombie. Psst, you see the way she was looking at me? Huh? You see that? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone? You mean that blank-eyed, beyond-the-grave stare? What, are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me. Felt like a piece of bone in her eyes. Wanted you to go away, maybe. She was obviously too distracted by me to pay attention to some stupid bobbing head with a big mouth. You? Yeah, right. Trust me. Shits beyond the grave don't care about all that physicality, and I've got a body, and I'm all scarred and tough-looking. They want guys with spirit. That's me, Chief. You? Corpses like you are as common as copper. Whatever, Mort. Let's go. Hello. If we do this enough, I'm sure eventually we'll remember something. It's probably how it works. Jagged knife, copper earring, dustman robes. Dustman request. We'll see what that says in a bit. A pry bar. A pry bar is always useful. You can use it for a lot of things. Let's see. Contact the neuromancer responsible for raising contractual worker 42. I know he's examined the skeleton before, but I'm certain the initial raising of the body was warped. The worker still responds to commands, but when it has completed a task, it resumes pacing in the same circular pattern that it did before. I mean, I do that. Is that weird? Dahl recently informed me that Worker 42 exhibited that same walking pattern when it was a zombie decades ago. There may be a soul echo in the marrow, where the skeleton's age may have caused the magic animating him to decay. One of the initiates suggested it may be following an order issued by a higher-ranking dustman in the past, but I found no records of such an order. Whatever the reason for its behavior, the matter is to be resolved or the worker replaced. Would it really be that hard or expensive to get a replacement zombie or skeleton? You'd think it wouldn't be that big of a deal. They fall for it every time. Ah, here's the key. I assume for this door. There we go. Let's open that one up. I guess there's nothing there. The fact that there are two doors here kind of made me think that maybe there might have been something here. There's not. Let's go down these stairs. It's a very elaborate mortuary.
All right.
Hello.
I'm gone.
This is a dustman guard, not the same as the regular dustman. We can still lean into whisper and then snap his neck. It still worked. But I got more experience for this. I got 35. I tucked the limp body into the shadows. I wasn't aware that hiding bodies mattered. It hasn't mattered so far. Oh, this person has a name. You see a tired-looking man in a black robe. His narrow face is extremely pale. It doesn't look like he's been sleeping. His shoulders are slumped and the flesh sags loosely beneath his bloodshot eyes. He looks so lost. I wonder if we meet anyone who looks happy and healthy. Like, this person has a spring in their step, their skin is nice and moisturized, and they have a jaunty walk. They clearly love their job. I'm guessing we're not going to meet someone like that. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
The man turns to you and makes a slight bow. You suddenly notice that his eyes aren't bloodshot so much as they might have a red tinge to them. I am Soigo. How may I... He suddenly seems to notice your scars, and the corner of his mouth twitches. I'm sorry, Sarah. Are you lost? No. A lot of your friends have asked me that. I do not recall admitting you. Soigo looks at you suspiciously, and his eyes gleam red in the light of the torches. May I ask what you're doing here? When your friends asked me that, I told them that it was none of their concern. Oh, but I'm afraid it is my concern. Soigo's eyes gleam red, and the corners of his mouth twitch slightly, as if in anticipation. Mayhap? He sneers, displaying a row of sharp, dirty teeth. Mayhap I should call the guards. Yes. Yes, I think I will do that. Can't have you alerting your friends. What? Oh no, he resisted somehow. What are you doing? If you're gonna kill him, do it. I did. I snapped his neck. He shouldn't even be moving. Dustman looks as shocked as you. His eyes are wild, and he makes a gurgling noise in his throat. You're certain you snapped his neck, for his head is twisted as an unnatural angle, but he is alive. As you watch stunned, he claps his hand weakly 3 times. In response, a great iron bell begins tolling throughout the mortuary. All right, then. Oh, okay, we're fighting. We're still fighting. We did it. I mean, not as cleanly as we wanted, but, you know, we did it.
All right.
My inventory is full. And I got the key. I might assume that's how I get out of here. Is that like a thing? No, it's just like a stone on the floor. And with that, we have escaped the mortuary, and also that we have reached the hour. The hour is up. I suppose we should see if we can just kill people outside the mortuary. At some point, you'd figure that we would have to stop doing that.
Updated my journal.
No, it doesn't look like we can kill this guy. That's fine. Well, that is our hour-long look at Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. I guess, you know, it's the kind of game that the pacing is going to really depend on how much you want to read. You could just click through a lot of stuff and do this much faster. But if you want to... if you read everything to yourself, it would be faster. Reading things out loud is going to make it take a lot longer than it would have ordinarily. Also, for whatever reason, I find myself not gelling with the interface here. I mean, I don't know, just... I couldn't really tell you why. It's just I feel like I have to think about where everything is. I'm not really sure how to describe that. I mean, granted, it is quite old. Well, you know, you just spend a little bit of time with it. You get used to it. I got healed a little bit. So, a story about a man who keeps getting killed, apparently, and keeps waking up, apparently.
Well, I mean, you shake a leg.
Well, but we're done here, Mort. I'm sorry, but we're done. He keeps waking up. He's got to go find someone, apparently an enemy. Discover what he's doing in this city. Maybe discover who he is? Possibly.
Oh, come on, let's
discover why he can't seem to die?
Shake a leg.
That seems kind of likely. Kill a whole bunch of people? I mean, if you want, probably. We probably didn't have to do that. But we got experience for doing that, so, you know, maybe it's good to do that?
What's the holdup?
I don't know what the holdup is. I don't know if maybe there might be negative sides to murder, or maybe you should just murder whoever you want so you get that experience. Hard to say, really. But all I can say is that has been... No.
You shake a leg.
We've been shaking these legs in the mortuary, but we're outside now. We're going to take our time. We're going to go to the points. Now, I guess even though this is a recently released enhanced edition of the game, when I click on anywhere except the game window, the sound does stop. The game keeps going, but the sound has stopped. How immoral is this? There's... There's not going to be enough room for this joke. That's way too many words. But you can't spell immoral without immortal. So, I mean, this is really the game for immorality, probably. What kind of suspense does this game have? Well, I mean, so far, the suspense has been all about, will the next snapping work? I mean, I'm sure that's not like the only point of suspense as the game continues. But like in this hour, that was the main point of suspense. If I keep snapping necks, will it keep working? And like for that last guy, it seemed like maybe it wasn't going to. And we were, was wondering, oh, is he like a special magic man? No, he was just a regular guy. It's just that it took a few seconds for him to die. So he got it a bit worse than everyone else. The neck snapping was not clean. It was a dirty neck snapping. Then, erotic. How erotic is it? Well, if the dialogue is any indication, it sounds like that we're going to learn to be a pickup artist of lady zombies. That's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like that's the direction we're heading in. Maybe there's like some side quests that could help us out in that direction. Hard to say.
Shake a leg.
So many directions it could go. Also, we only got out of the mortuary, so we're in the outside in the city of sigils. So, what possibilities are there outside in the city? We won't know because our hour has stopped here. That has been our look, our hour-long look of Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. As we stand here and wonder, what's the holdup? What is the holdup, indeed?
What's the holdup?